is once I get to the property that I want to scout, if there is accessibility all the way around it or even close to where I can get to access to water, I'm going to drive around and look at the entire property. Whether I can actually lay eyes on the whole property or not, I know what's all the way around it, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm actually driving around looking into some of these creek bottoms, checking out what we've got. I've already seen 2 deer, 1 small buck. I'm thinking that on the other side of this property everything is beans, so if it is beans, which I'm going to go verify, that's going to change how this particular area is hunted early season compared to when these acorns drop. So identifying that is next. Food, water, early season, they're not very far from that source, so we'll start there once I get down in there, trying to figure out what the food is and where the water is. Bean field on the back side of this public. So it is July 8th, and then on the other side is, looks like corn. But anyway, all these beans, this is telling me good things that I want to know, because the woods and the public are on the other side of all these crops. So, you know, you just got to pick a spot and kind of go and try to get down in here close to them and see what's actually happening now. Because one thing about early season, deer aren't traveling very far, and if you can get them early before things get fired up and you use that weather to your advantage, that's just one more hunting skill and tactic that you can have in your bag, and you don't have to wait till the pre-rut or the rut. Kill one when you can. As you can see, look, you see this? You can see over it, right? But as soon as that corn gets tall enough, you're not going to be able to see that depression in the corn. So mark that depression when you're going around pieces of public, and come time, that's where deer like to hang out, is they'll get in these small little areas that are flooded or don't hold water and it didn't grow, the corn didn't grow, and they'll sit there and they'll bed in that. So just keep that in mind. All right, step 3 after driving around is to get eyes in the woods. And I can tell, just simply because of all the thorns in the way, that nobody else has been back in here. So, pretty excited about this. I'm not seeing a single boot track. Of course, I'm a little obsessive. This is July, but this is usually when I find the bucks that I like to target, and I build off of the information that I gather all summer. And sometimes it don't work out. I mean, I've had one buck here in Indiana whoop my tail. I've chased him for 3 years now, and he's here all summer long, and then disappears. The pressure picks up, he's gone. He goes on to this property that's owned by IU, and I can't get him. So every year he comes back. I've had one buddy get him on trail camera, and then I got another big deer, the bow and the ground buck. If you're aware of my situation, then you know what buck that is. And then I found a bunch of bucks last year, but I wasn't patient enough and shot a little 8-point from a decent 8-point, but not what I normally would shoot. But he was at 5 yards on the ground, so I took advantage of the opportunity. Man, I tell you, it's real pretty in here already. Real pretty. Real open. Getting an idea of the lay of the land. I know the crops surround this place, so I just really have to pick a corner and go. And if I see something I like with deer sign, hang a camera. So I picked my bottom that I'm headed to. I wanted to give you another tip. You see how open this side is? You see how thick this is? This is a big, big transition. And you see how open that side is. So bedding over in that way. Now I'm headed to a bottom. It's real thick through there. You don't want to make a bunch of racket. Do what I do. Find where the water takes you to the bottom and walk the edge. And this will take you all the way to the bottom. And usually along the creeks and indentions, you'll find. And it's important to remember that when a buck comes to an indention, right, to where he's going to drop down and be blind, he's going to stop on whatever side he's coming from to survey the area, especially in thick stuff like this. He'll survey the area, and that may give you your moment that you need. That's all I want, 5 minutes. This water area will mostly be the softest soil that you can walk on. And a lot of times you'll find where deer are crossing it too. But this is where I'm trying to go, down here in this bottom. And I do this everywhere, right? You know, I'm not tromping off through this soft creek that comes all the way from the top down in here. So, just a little tip. That's an old scrape. That is a giant big scrape. That's probably bow size right here. You can see this branch is still broken from last year. It looks like the trail goes this way, goes up that hill, and then goes this way and turns left and goes this way. We're gonna go this way and then we're gonna go up that way. That's all good signs, bare minimum. I can mark this, I mean, this is a really good trail coming down through here. So there's one here and one going up the hill too. So it looks like this is kind of like an intersecting spot. Right there, big old scrape. So we'll go this way. I got down in here what I thought would be beans, which would have been great for this point. I mean, there's so much bedding this way. And you see all this open area, but I wasn't seeing a ton of tracks. There is a few tracks down in here, and it's not planted. So I assume that is actually playing more like a bedding area than a food source. So I'm gonna go check the other private field and see what's in it. But you know, getting down in here will tell you as much as you want to know about being here, as much as you don't. So that's one thing I saved myself. I know it's not planted right now, so it's probably not getting planted, or it's an extremely late plant, and I'll find that out later in the year. But down in here I had plan A, plan B, and plan C. We're going to plan B. Plan B is this bottom pinches down right here, and there's a creek, and as you can see this way, and there's a trail going up this into the thick or the more open oaks. So basically what I'm trying to do is find this bench trail above the creek where it pinches down between the thick stuff. And if I can find that trail that's heavily used, I'm gonna hang a camera. Here's the bench trail. And this bench trail. Look. All kinds of tracks in here. So this is definitely the bench trail. It comes right through here. This would be a good spot for a camera to gather information. That's a hell of a trail right there. Looking for? There it is. Flat. Look at the trail. All these tracks. That's a big deer slide, so they're definitely coming up out of this or crossing into that to go up into that. So, oh yeah. Still looking for spots, but whew, yeah. I can't really see into that field. I'm about tempted to wade across just to see what's in that field, or I'll get higher up on the hill. We'll see. We're gonna find out what's in that field. Okay, I can see the field. It's all beans. This field is all beans. Yep. Alright, so the deer, from what I can see, the field on that side is beans, and I can see the slide. I think I found my first camera spot, and so that's what you do. You just get out here and walk, eliminate spots, and then just keep walking and backtrack. These bench trails are amazing above creeks and river systems when they're pinched down, because you can see where they're moving. Found where I've hung my cameras. I put 2 cameras down in here. Excuse me. 2 cameras down in here, and now I'm gonna work my way out and up. There's just all kinds of turkeys back here, but I've got my camera exactly where I wanted to. I wanted to check this spot right here by the creek because it's so tight. And so we'll see if it produces. This is not where I'm gonna be hunting in September, so I'm saving that spot for my cell cameras. But it's time to get out of here, and I'm gonna have to come out here and look at that bean field one evening. But we're gonna let the cameras do the work for now and see what we come up with. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.